Hello friends! So today I have a really fun recipe for you guys. I don't know if you saw our last video, but Dr. Holly, my wife, and my son Luca just harvested in our garden, and I'm pointing this way because our garden is that way, just harvested some beautiful kohlrabi. And I don't know if you saw the kohlrabi harvest that we had, but we had tons of these. And if you don't know what kohlrabi is, it is in the broccoli, cabbage family. It's a vegetable. And it makes this beautiful little ball. It normally had leaves, but we took the leaves off. And it tastes like cabbage with a turnip, kind of. So some of you guys asked, what do you do with it? And I wanted to show you, not really a recipe, because I probably won't give you exact measurements. If you know me already, I'm not like the most exact cook when it comes to recipes. I just throw things together that we love. But we do have some parsley from our garden here, some carrots that I just chopped up for quickness, and then the recipe is super simple. So essentially it's like a chicken salad, except for having like apples and sometimes like walnuts and things. I wanted a little more of a savory chicken salad with the kohlrabi and carrots, and also I wanted to flavor it with a little chili powder and lime. And there's a fly around here. Excuse me, sir, I'm talking. Anyway, so I got my bowl here and I'm going to start just getting things ready to go. So I made some chicken yesterday in the oven. This is just chicken breast and I seasoned it with salt, pepper, and paprika. So I put it in the oven 350 for about 20 to 25 minutes. And I did use olive oil and I just slathered it on, let it sit 20-25 minutes in the oven, depending on your oven. I baked a whole bunch of chicken breasts and I just put them in the fridge just to have them for whatever recipe. I like to have chicken prepped ahead of time. I have a little extra here. I'm not sure how much this recipe will make. But let's go ahead. I'm going to chop up the chicken first and then I'll chop up the kohlrabi so that you guys can see what that kohlrabi looks like. And I can show you a little bit, give you a taste test so that you can see what it's like. But if you're looking for kohlrabi recipe ideas, of course, you can use it in chicken salad, but you can use it anywhere you would use cabbage. So, I got my bowl all the way over here because I don't want to cover up my ingredients. But you can use kohlrabi anywhere you would use cabbage, like I mentioned. So you can even make coleslaw with it. You can actually ferment it and make like a sauerkraut with the same, just water and salt, and it will taste like a crunchier sauerkraut. Also, you can saute it with butter and salt. I mean, it's so versatile. If you've never had it and you don't grow it in your garden, grow it. It's fairly easy to grow if you grow it under the right conditions. It really likes cool temperatures. We in the South planted this in February and then we harvested here in May. Pretty low maintenance and bug-free. So anyway, here I have about 2-ish small chicken breasts that I just cubed up into little cubes. I'm tempted to just eat all that chicken by itself, but I won't. Oh, excuse my gigantic knife, by the way. Dr. Holly got this for me for Christmas, and I love it. I love big chef's knives. So with kohlrabi, I like to peel the skin with a big knife. I find that using like a potato peeler, the skin is just a little too thick, and it doesn't really do that great of a job, in my opinion. But use whatever. You eat the whole vegetable, by the way. So I'm just peeling off the skin right here. Just trying to get as little kohlrabi. I don't know, it's not a root. Technically, it's like a swollen stem. Kind of like a turnip is, a swollen stem. So it is keto friendly, so if you guys are on the keto diet or anything like that, it would be great to use. And then also, I forgot to mention, you can actually roast these and it makes they're really good roasted in the oven. Just olive oil, salt and pepper. You can add spices of your liking. But there it is, all peeled. This is kohlrabi. You eat the whole thing. So I'm going to chop this up into little cubes, just kind of matching the size of the chicken. And then dump the rest of the ingredients and we're done. This is what we're having for dinner today. So right here is kohlrabi. I don't know if you guys can see this. The crunch is almost like an apple, where it's really moist, really juicy. It has like a cabbage, mild, like sweet cabbage flavor, with a hint of a turnip. It's so good. And if you think you might not like those things, it's really all about the texture. Because once you add it to things, it has almost like a water chestnut. If you've ever had those, that kind of crunch and flavor. I'm making this for my family, so even if I take a bite and I put it in a recipe, you know. Oh, I love it. It's so good. We have like 20 of them. So I might pickle some and preserve them. That'll be fun. Can maybe do that in a video. So anyway, I'm going to cut these into little like matchsticks and then cube it up. Hello. And then throw it in there. I'm normally not this messy of a chopper, but you know, some days. So I'm gonna go ahead and chop all of this up, throw it in there, and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay guys, so I have the kohlrabi all cubed up. I mean, it's not perfect, it's just similar size to the chicken. I really like a nice just bite of kohlrabi in the salad. And then I'm just gonna toss in, so that was one large kohlrabi. It's about 2 small chicken breasts so far, and then I have about 2 medium-sized carrots here, and a handful of parsley. This is from my garden, that darky parsley. If you're local and if you've grown it, it's that curly parsley that we have at our nursery. And then also just 2 medium-sized carrots. These are not from our garden yet. They're almost there. They're getting there to a nice size. Everyone that we pull, we just snack on. They don't make it to the fridge. So I'm gonna go ahead and just dump all my ingredients. Super easy. I really like just the mix of colors in here. I just realized I didn't get myself like a mixing spoon, but you know. Now, a secret ingredient that I like to add to a lot of foods, and really in many meals that we have, I like to have a fermented food in everything we eat. And if you're not familiar with who we are and all that, we have a nursery that we post here and share the videos, but we also own a wellness center. So we teach functional medicine, and we have events locally on like fermented foods and recipe workshops, and I teach people all sorts of things, nutrition and lab related things. So every time we're sharing recipes, it's kind of coming from that lens. So I'm always trying to add something fermented because we want to make sure that the gut is always being inoculated with good bacteria. So I love, if you don't handle or tolerate dairy well, I don't do a ton of dairy, but milk kefir I do tolerate well. Again, I'm just eyeballing this. I probably end up adding about, that was about, I don't know, a 4th cup, I'm gonna say, of kefir. I really like that butteriness that this kefir gives it. Almost like a, I say butteriness, but it's like a creamy, milky / tangy buttermilk-like flavor that it gives this, the dressing that I'm making. This is mayo made with avocado oil, which we love. I don't really use any mayonnaise that has like, you know, just some of those other bad oils. I'm adding, usually I eyeball this. I never really know how much. I would guesstimate I'm doing about ½ a cup here of mayonnaise. And really you can do this as creamy as you like it or as dry as you like it. I like mine to have a good amount of sauce. So I'd say that's about good right there. I don't know if you guys can see that. Guesstimating about ½ a cup. And I'm gonna mix this with my tiny baby spoon. I should probably go get like a real person spoon, but just for the video's sake, I'm just gonna do this. This is for you guys, right here. Wasn't that pretty? So I'm going ahead and just mixing it with my baby spoon, which is absolutely a necessity. It won't turn out if you don't use it. Pretty. Okay, now I went ahead and chopped up, leave my hands, went ahead and chopped up 2, or cut in half, 2 limes. I love the flavor of lime in this. You can use lemon. I just feel like the lime just gives it an extra uniqueness, if you will. I love the lime flavor. I grew up with limes. I grew up with lime trees in Puerto Rico. We had these key lime style limes in Puerto Rico. We had a tree and they were always producing. So to me, it's kind of like a nod? Nod? Yes, not a nod. It's a nod back to my home. Okay, So I'm gonna do about a lime and a half. I'll taste it and I'll see if it needs another like zippiness to it. But we got some zippiness with the kefir and also the lime here. You could use a lime thing and all that stuff. These are actually pretty much have no seeds. These pretty much don't have any seeds. Okay. Ooh, that smells good. Now I'm gonna mix that. I really like to add to this, and it's not spicy, but I love to add some chili powder. Lime and chili, as you know, go really well together, but this chili powder we use, it's from Mountain Rose Herbs, organic chili powder. I don't add a ton. I probably add an 1/8 teaspoon, maybe to a 1/4 teaspoon. And I can smell it already. It doesn't smell or taste hot per se. It more so smells smoky and almost earthy. And it really gives this a nice depth without it being spicy. So it's so good. So I add about, like I mentioned, 1/8 teaspoon to a 1/4 teaspoon. You can add an 1/8 first, see if you like it, and then add some more if you want more of that flavor. And then last but not least, we're almost done. Last but not least is just salt to taste. And I add 1 round, 2 rounds, I would say not even an 1/8 teaspoon of salt. The mayonnaise does have a good bit of salt. One thing I will say, now when you taste it, it'll taste saltier. If it sits in the fridge or anything overnight, the salt will draw out the liquid out of the kohlrabi because they're very crunchy and watery, and it will water down your salad. So the next day, if you notice it's not as salty, it's because the kohlrabi released water. But it still maintains the crunch, which is nice. It doesn't get soggy by any means. So just know the next day you can add a little more salt. We love salt. People are against salt because many reasons, but when you have good Himalayan salt, you're really getting a lot of minerals in your body, which we love. I'm looking at this, I'm thinking just a little more of that. Ooh, that looks good. Okay, so that's done. I'm gonna plate it up in something nice for the family. They're outside in the garden, having a good old time. They are probably harvesting something. My son loves to harvest, so let's go ahead and taste this. Oh, I did good. Oh, good. Yes, perfect balance of mayo with the kefir. I don't love tasting like a dressing that's like super mayonnaise forward. I don't want to really taste the mayo. I just love the body of it. I would say just a little more of this. And I know my wife, she loves really limey and lemony things. It was very limey and lemony, but I know for her, I don't want a half a lime sitting here on my counter, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use it. Now, I'm double dipping because I can. Because when I cook for my family, you know, this is how I cook, whether they like it or not. Now I have a little more. Oh yeah, that lime. That is so good. So I hope you guys try this recipe and give it a whirl. Again, if you don't have kohlrabi or all these other things, just use whatever you got. I'm thinking I could replace the kohlrabi with celery. I can replace, you know, pretty much any veggie that I have in the garden that I'm thinking, you know, like turnips, if I have radishes, if you like radishes. I would switch this out with turnips because we have some in the garden. Any of those types of things. But be creative, enjoy this healthy recipe that's super easy to make. If I didn't show this to you in a video and I'm just making it, I could probably make it under 10 minutes. So yeah, lunch is served, or dinner actually is served. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we will see you in the next one. Bye. And here is a close-up of what it looks like. You can see all the kohlrabi and the carrots and the parsley and the chicken in there and how creamy it looks. And hope you guys make it. Bye. Still working on my salad, and we got somebody here playing with his chicken.
Uh-oh. Chocolate chip. It's the attack of the giant chicken. Time for the crazy chicken run.
That's the kohlrabi leaves. We're going to feed those to the chickens.